Alright, I've done all my outdoor stuff. The boy's up and around. He's been to the makeup trailer and all that. He's got to run to the store and pick him up whatever it is 17-year-old boys need. And fill up the truck with diesel fuel. Since he done run it dry, you know. And then I think we're going to work on this. But first, I got to do what I always got to do. Alright, Handsome Jack just got back from the makeup trailer with the production assistants. And we're fixing to do something here. What are you fixing to do? Would you like to explain to the audience?
Well, this oil pan's too big to go in there. So I'm taking it off and I'm putting that one on.
So in this case, smaller is better.
Yes, in this case.
So we need to remove that pickup, right?
Yep, that's what I'm working on right now.
Now, are we going to be able to reuse that oil pan gasket?
Probably not. They look to be different shapes.
Very astute. Actually, I think it'll still work. Except that somebody looks like they stuck a pry bar in that corner and tore up the rubber.
I wonder who could have done that.
I don't know, but it was a travesty when they did it. Alright, let's proceed. Alright, Handsome Jack has found that there's a couple of, what do you call them?
Rivets.
Yeah, I'm going to have to drill the heads of them off so you can get the pan gasket off. Some people call them rivets, but that's what frogs do.
Yeah.
They're rivets.
These don't look like no frogs to me.
Now get your drill, hold it straight now. Bang! Didn't even flinch.
Done it too many times.
Is the drill turning the right way?
Yep.
You sure?
It's drilling inwards.
Okay. There you go.
Well, that might be on there for a little bit.
It'll twist right off. You gotta twist it. Maybe even take a little pair of pliers and twist it in the direction of the spirals on the drill.
Get to that after this.
Now you gotta hold this thing straight. You'll break off a drill bit. You ain't careful. And you know what I like about that?
What?
Nothing. Alright, carry on. Alright, the moment of truth is here. We've put the other oil pan on. Actually, we haven't. He has.
Yes.
And we don't have no pickup in it. We only got about 4 bolts in it. But that's going to allow us to see what we need to see. We hope. So, the battery's dead in this camera. I'm going to get another one. Sure am thankful for that air conditioning. Man, it is hot out there. Alright. The young man will be back up here shortly. I had to help his mama do something. You know, he's a pretty good kid. I wish he was more into this stuff than he is, but time will tell. But he's a pretty good kid. Hopefully that camera's working. The motor's in there. The oil pan works. Now we just got to determine, I think I got to remove some shielding on the firewall because I can't get the back of the transmission up high enough, I don't think, but we'll see. The weight of the thing is mostly sitting in the car. Well, some early observations are those motor mounts bolted to the engine aren't going to do us any good because they're way too far away from the originals. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about that. Other than that, everything is fitting pretty good.
Alright.
Right, bud?
Right.
That's what I like about him. He always agrees with me. Well, not always. Yeah. I think the next course of action is pull it back out. We got to remove these existing mounts on the engine. They ain't gonna work. And we got to see where the transmission squashed into the shielding in the firewall tunnel and remove that. And then we got to go back in with it. Right now we can't get the transmission up high enough. So we might have to do a little hammer work. But the thing fits pretty good. Not sure how we're going to handle the motor mounts. You can buy some from Sicky or something like that. But I think it's a couple $100. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I might make some plates and something like that. Or I suppose we could look over here on this 5.3. It's a truck motor. No, it ain't got no mounts on it. Anyway, we'll figure out something. Right, bud?
Right.
Handsome Jack spotted the problem. This car was a 5-speed car. And the guy who had it before just hacksawed off the linkage. So anyway, the shifter's hanging down, getting in our way. So we're going to get the shifter out of the way. He might have to jack the car up so he can get under there.
Yeah.
And all like that right there. Alright, and even though I was wearing safety glasses, I got a little metal in my eye, but Little Miss helpfully got it out.
It's very skilled with that kind of thing.
Yeah. Alright, let's continue. Shall we?
We shall.
You want to turn that little thing back on? Actually, we don't need to. We're working under the car. Wait till we get ready to do something they can see. Are you texting the ladies?
My sister.
Oh. Alright, if the time-lapse camera is still working, well, I'll explain what we had did. What we had did was we jacked back the transmission up. We want to put the car on the lift so we can see what's happening under there. Obviously, the transmission needs to go higher. So we ran a ratchet strap underneath into the holes in the body where you jack it up at. Had them little rubber biscuit on one side right there, which caused it to rust out the car right there. But it didn't rust out, but it's rusty. And anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So now we're going to try to set the engine down. Actually, we're not going to try to. We're going to actually do that. And then we're going to unhook it. There, all the weight of the engine is in the car. And then we're going to put it on the lift and jack it up and see what we see. That's what we're fitting to do. Right, bub?
Right.
All right, Handsome Jack and I are here considering and pontificating. It looks like the transmission is going to mostly fit. Looks like I might need to cut off that a little bit to get some clearance. And we might need to bash the transmission tunnel a little bit right there, maybe. I can't tell real good on top of the transmission, but it looks like it's clearing. And I think we need to move it forward about an inch. That's what I think. Which should help some of those other clearance issues. So, and get us closer to the engine mount. You know, the engine mount looks better from under here. Of course, the motor's tilted to the driver's side somewhat. Excuse me, engine. I shouldn't have called it a motor. But I did, so deal with it. Alright. It's looking kind of promising. Let's continue considerations. Shall we?
We shall.
Alright. Alright. I got her kinda. There, let me set up in there. I don't think she's gonna go much higher. I might get a little bit. It needs to go a little bit more in the back, but that's kind of how I got it rigged up for the moment. I think that's as far as we're gonna get today. We might come out and do a few more things, but we gotta go eat, you know. I'm gonna look into those sicky motor mount deals. Because, you know, my time is kind of at a premium. Might be worth it to spend the money and have it sit where somebody else figured out it ought to be. Seems like we could move it forward a little bit, which might help some. I ought to go forward a good 1.5 or so. Seems like to me. But now it can sit in there and we can push this thing out and ain't gonna be clogging up my air conditioned shop, which I need pretty bad this time of year. So the young man's kind of busy and, you know, doing young man stuff, so I'm not gonna hold it against him too much. Alright, let's see where the rest of the day takes us. So I went in to eat some dinner, and while I was doing that I did some research. Looks like Sicky does not make the mounts separately. At least I couldn't figure out how to find it. They sell a kit, which is like $1,700. I ain't wanting to do that. I just want the mounts. But I can't find anything else. There's a guy, Jesus Freak, on some of the forums I see, but I don't see how to contact him. So if any of y'all can help me out with that, that would be great. But I may be forced to just build the mounts. I mean, I can do it, but it'd be nice to bolt them in, is what it'd be. It'd be nice. But we'll see what happens here. Alright, now in an unusual turn of events, he had to slide this seat back to drive. Now he had to slide that one forward. In an unusual turn of events, I'm going to let him drive.
Yeah, I'm going to be driving.
It's the first time ever for this car, right?
Yep. Never rode it.
You know, I brought your oldest sister home in this car from the hospital.
She just told me that.
And, whoa, and your other sister. But it was parked when you snuck up on us. Is that a grin I'm seeing? It's got some what?
It's got more power than that truck for sure.
Don't it? It'll go a lot faster too.
I imagine so.
Alright. So what do you think about it so far?
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
So there might be something to this old car thing?
Maybe.
Might want to slow down a little.
Oh yeah, sure. So you said truck, you know.
Yeah. Well, now you drove the Transam, man. What do you think?
I think it's pretty awesome. And it might have a home when you kick the buckets.
Well, let's not hurry that along.
Yeah.
Would you point that out to me one more time, please?
Alright. Last time we were pushing this thing,
Uh-huh.
I do believe the window was down.
Uh-huh.
And somebody, when they were pushing, evidently did this with some nice black, oily, greasy hands and left a nice fingerprint on my nice tan interior in here.
I see.
Great.
It's a good thing you never did anything like that when
Yeah.
you were a peanut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Funny how the tables turn, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Since this concludes the current BMW LS swap video, would you mind ringing the bell?
Sure.
I remember when you used to have stand on something to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now look at me.
Now look at you. It just goes to show, folks, drink your milk
Yep.
and eat your carrots.
Carrots are good.
That's right. And don't forget to go to MrHeavyChevy.com where you can buy cool hats, t-shirts, and shorts for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Those have been a poor seller. So if y'all could help me out there, that'd be great. We got boxes of them and we need to liquidate.
Yeah.
Kind of rhymed there, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right then, that's it.